OpenKylin. So, what is OpenKylin? It is a Linux distro that comes from China. Now, Kylin is actually a user interface, and you're used to using UKUI, and that was actually on Ubuntu Kylin, different version that existed. And more recently, what's not been released has been called the first full open source distro that's been released from China. And of course, it is called OpenKylin. Uh, with the link here, as you can see here, to the UKUI environmental GUI interface that works on multiple distros, by the way. So they've taken this interface and popped it on a distro, and it looks like that the heart of this distro is Ubuntu based. Whole community going on here, and of course, this just got released a couple of days ago. So let's spin this up and take a look at it. So we'll just do the OpenKylin ISO. And since this seems to be based on Ubuntu 22.04, I'm going to choose that as an option. And just give this over 8 gigs of memory, give this 8 CPU cores, give this an 80 gig hard drive, and I'm going to call this OpenKylin. And let it start up. One of the things from distros from this part of the world, of course, is very much they're quite often refined when it comes to the interface. If you look here, this is very similar to Ubuntu. So usually to change the language is the F2. So here I'm going to go F2 and choose set it to English. And let's install OpenKylin. Looks like it comes with 2 kernels, 5.15, which is an LTS, and 6.1 option. So let's make this a little bit bigger here. Go choose the English for obvious reasons. Time zone. We're going to choose Cambridge Bay. Next. Username, gosh, of course. Gosh. PC Kylin. Choose a very strong password. Password is shorter than 8 characters. I get that. Oh, it has to be 8 characters. Okay. Then let's make it something that is 8 characters. We won't automatic login. Let's go next. I'm going to choose a full install. Hit next. And formatted the whole disk. I guess that's format the whole disk. So as you can see here, of course, talking about different technologies that it supports here. The 2 different kernels I mentioned, 6.1 and 5.15. Talking about the UKUI interface, the App Store, and of course Intel ND Risk Room for Raspberry. So I mean, this has its own repos, so it's going to be very interesting to try out. Not necessarily something I would use on a daily basis, but I must admit the UKUI interface I have found previously to be quite intriguing and quite nicely treated, really. So we'll take a look at that. I see the idea is this to also eventually run on RISC and Raspberry, so really great to see. And from no matter which part of the world one's from, it's really nice to see how different places are embracing Linux and using it, and coming up with different ways and to use it, some interface on it. So I think that's absolutely great there. I can see here it's busy connecting to some repos here for whatever info. I've tested this before and it's pretty quick. Interesting to see it does install i386, some packages there as well. because of course not all Linux software is 64-bit only. Sometimes you need those 32-bit packages. Uses grub as well. And generally, I found in the past this to be quite quick to install. Should almost be finished now, and then we can give it a quick reboot. Obviously, to bear in mind with these type of distros, you might find one or two language options aren't quite correct. That's not a train smash. Let's hit restart. Nice little bit of startup music. Remember when Western distros used to do that? First thing let's do, let's just fix this interface a little bit. So display settings. What is it? 20. Yeah. Oh, much better. And yeah, it's the base install. I'm gonna go back to display settings again. Let's go home. System. In that, maybe personalized. Okay, I'm going to just make this dark thing over here. I can keep it light seeking and make it dark. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And keep it with the light seeking icons. So, here we go. First, right click, of course. Display settings, upper direction terminal, set background. So you can choose the different background options here. The really interesting most options I have here. It's not offensive, easygoing. If you press online pictures, it takes you to OpenKylin wallpaper. So if we say accept the risk, because I guess the certificate is expired. It's to take you to this web page, which has additional wallpapers here, and you can see it's talking to some of the different versions. I'm gonna close this. But good to see you can get more stuff. And then again, of course, we went display settings. So if I click on home, you've got your account, user info you can change. Your login options, which we've had, full display, which we've configured already, your audio options, your line in, your line out, your power options, your client from sleep, your power plan. So you can have your performance model, your notice, I guess this is what applications can give you pop-ups and give you info about. Really interesting here, it's using kernel 6.1, a UK UI, version 1. Printer, of course, mouse config, if you want to add it. Really nice, you can also reverse it as well. Nice to see that's available in this interface. You'll be surprised the amount of systems that don't include that out the box anymore. LAN connection, WLAN, wireless proxy, app to open proxy. I have no clue what that is. VPN connected to Docker 0. Okay. Okay. Guess, of course, Docker is pre-installed on this thing, that's why. Underneath, I believe. Background, themes we've gone through, screen lock, screensaver, the fonts, date, your area info, all your date formats, checking for updates, upgrade and update, auto boots, default apps, search. So this is already taking you through the whole settings side. Taking you from the computer interface side, Peony, which is the file manager, really nice. It shows you how much free space it's got left. You can see it takes quite a bit for the file system, and doesn't leave too much left for data, which is separate here. And there is a root as well. There's a share and home. Then we can show hidden, resident in the background, all about all of this pre-available here. Your videos, music, a standard file manager. Yeah. Not really too much more to show you on that side here. Your virtual desktop options. Then, of course, WPS, which is the Office option here. Kingsoft Office, essentially. Let's just close this. So, of course, if you see here, it looks pretty similar to Microsoft Office. And I know for a couple of years, this was actually very popular with folks, especially on Linux distros, because it looks so similar to Office. It has similar compatibility. And I believe to save out the box, it can use its own format and Microsoft's doc and docx format, etc. I see it does have a cloud option these days. So WPS Cloud. Let's close that up. Let's open up the menu here. Okay, so there are purely settings. So if we go to Software Center, of course, showing you what software is available on their store, and of course, what is quite common, I guess, in China's web store. Normal USB creators, you get download manager. So let's see, you just hit install, type in your credentials, authenticate, and like any other distro, it's going to install it. And put a shortcut on the desktop, click you get, and as you can see, it has installed it quite nicely. Of course, Office packages that you can choose from, your video applications, graphic design, graphic editing, biometric for some drivers, additional drivers. So for your scanners, card readers, printers, and others, mobile apps. So essentially, it has a virtual machine installed as well, where you can run virtual Android apps. So kind of what Windows does now, and other distros too. Using third-party tools where you can run Android applications. And of course, then you see here, Mange terminal, March terminal. Interesting, it doesn't have its own terminal. He uses March terminal. Well, that was quite interesting. Out of all of them, I would have expected to use something almost a little bit more flashy. If I press this here, opens up a virtual keyboard, so we can close that. And then they have the ASR assistant, which you can talk to it and tell it to, for example, open the App Store. And it should open the App Store. It can't hear me, but I thought that's a nice addition, kind of similar to Cortana on Windows and Siri on Mac. So yeah, very interesting addition there. And of course, you can definitely see on this bottom interface, there's a bit of a window with the field search forward back of a better word. And of course, it's got biometric manager, but toolkit. So basically, gives you all the information about your hardware. It's running quite a bit of memory. And yes, I don't know where this data goes. So software, I would assume that if I was to go sudo update, yeah, you can see it specifically uses its own Kylin repos. And if I want to see what's upgradable, we could just do sudo apt list upgradable. Some of these, yeah, upgradable. These are the packages, and it's just upgraded. Sudo apt upgrade. Apply that there so you can differently see from normal type of distro. Check. Okay, so let's check another one here. So if we go sudo docker network ls, it shows us what networks we've got going here. So this is a bridge network predefined of what's going on in Docker. So if I was to go sudo docker inspect and I choose this network IP, we'll see its configuration. Interesting subnet that network it's using here. That's interesting configuration. Subnet and gateway. Wonder why that's configured like that. Interesting choice of subnet, because that would not be internet. That should not be routable. Okay. Who knows where that gets connected to? And if I'm putting a ping there, 128, doubt it, but 128, 0.318.1, 28.0.1. Yeah, fine. See where Nationalist gateway. Nice. Then we want to know where that's going. Okay, so next thing I want to do is just check app configuration. So there's some configuration files here. So let's cat app.conf. That's interesting. Change directory. Dot. So what earth is in here? System updaters, secure. Okay. Let's go back. Secure this up. And this year's best. Check the sources first. So these are the only sources that's here. Let's go to the preference directory. Check what's going on in the preference directory. So, trusted at GPT. It's in both. Share. Oh, look at this directory getting let's start catching these things. Cat secure. apt-get allow unauthenticated true. Aptitude command line ignore trust violations true. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that you can install apt packages without security. So essentially you could have a backdoor and install apt packages that don't need to be authenticated. So you could do additional pieces of software that don't require to be signed off at all. So you can just literally install it on the machine and set any of the security from the app that exists to make sure that it's installing only the correct and secure software on the machine is kind of disabled. So yeah, That means that you could, in theory, almost install anything you want on this machine, and with a normal security, active student Linux is disabled. Okay, quite interesting. So we know there's interesting network going on there. When it comes to Docker, I've also heard reports that this OS has a dedicated DNS server uplink that it's using, connecting to a different DNS server. So very interesting. And one of the certificates on here as well is, I believe, also 4 years behind. So yeah, very interesting. Distro, it really looks great. Sure it's going to be very popular back home where it is, but yeah, it's not something I would use myself. Therefore, I think there's a couple of obvious reasons for that, but it's definitely geared for back home in China. So yeah, if you have comments or any questions, it would be great to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching.